Hello, my name is Joel Feier, and I am a medical student at the University of Vermont, Larner College of Medicine. Today, I will be discussing viral mutations and the novel coronavirus. Like almost all living entities, viruses contain small molecules that code for their functional machinery. This purple necklace-like structure in the middle of the diagram represents the coronavirus's genetic material, or genome. In the case of coronavirus, this genetic material is made out of RNA. This RNA molecule itself contains the instructions for the different enzymes and proteins that the virus uses to infect and cause disease in human cells. So now that we have some basic knowledge about what a viral genome is, we can begin to think about viral mutation, or what really happens when there's a change in that RNA molecule. So to illustrate this point, I really like this graphic from the New York Times. And let's just imagine for a second that the virus is blue and the instructions to make the virus blue are found in that RNA molecule we just discussed. These blue viruses will give rise to other blue viruses, and the instructions to be a blue virus will be handed down from generation to generation. The genome doesn't change much, everyone's blue and continues to be so. But let's just imagine for a second that there's some change in that genetic material, such that a small subset of those blue viruses are born green, so to speak. All descendants of those green viruses will stay green. And this is really the essence of a viral mutation. A change in the virus's genetic material will cause a characteristic change in the virus. In the example here, the characteristic change is that the virus turns green. But in the case of viruses, it can cause changes in the behavior of the virus, how well it infects cells, or how much disease it can cause in their host. Now that we've covered the basics of what a viral genome and what a viral mutation is, we can start thinking about mutations in the context of the novel coronavirus. So, how quickly does SARS-CoV-2 mutate? The short answer is, it mutates slowly. And there are two reasons for that. The first is that the novel coronavirus is a large RNA virus, meaning that the size of that purple necklacey material from the diagram earlier is relatively big compared to other RNA viruses. And it's generally accepted that larger RNA viruses mutate at a slower rate than smaller coronaviruses. Now, the second reason that it mutates slowly is because the novel coronavirus contains a special molecule that proofreads its genome as it's passed from one generation to the next. So each time the virus replicates and gives rise to its offspring viruses, a piece of viral machinery called a 3' to 5' exonuclease makes sure that there are as few errors as possible as it passes this genetic material on. But the thing is that this molecule is not perfect at proofreading. So what ends up happening when there is, in fact, a mutation in the novel coronavirus's genome? The answer, in the vast majority of cases, is that nothing happens. So even if a change in the viral genome occurs, this does not mean that a change in the virus itself is going to happen. So if we look back at our GIFs from a couple slides ago, the majority of mutations that occur in the novel coronavirus actually look like the animation on the left, where there is no apparent change in the virus despite a change in the genome. This is called a silent mutation, and again, this happens in the majority of mutations that we've observed in the novel coronavirus. Yet on the other hand, there are some mutations that have caused observable changes in the virus itself. So, just like the GIF we saw a couple of slides ago, when a mutation does occur, it is passed on, and that particular virus's offspring, much like the animation on the right, continue to carry that mutation, just like the green viruses. But what exactly does that mean? What are these non-silent mutations causing in the novel coronavirus? Is it becoming stronger? Is it becoming more deadly? Is it more infectious? The short answer is we don't really know. Since intensive research began on the novel coronavirus last fall, researchers have sequenced over 11,000 coronavirus genomes. The vast majority of these mutations, as mentioned previously, are silent, they haven't caused any observable effect on the virus itself. And while 11,000 seems like a huge number, it is really important to stress to date that none of these mutations have created a vastly distinct type of virus or a super virus or one that's stronger or more dangerous. And so to date, it's unclear what the effect of these mutations are on the novel coronavirus. And we don't know if these mutations are increasing its ability to cause disease in humans. And so in summary, we still don't know how these mutations are affecting the pandemic, but research is moving at a record pace and information on the novel coronavirus is subject to change as we gain a better understanding of this new disease. The fact that the virus is mutating it's not a good thing or it's not a bad thing, but it's rather just how the underlying biology works. We still have a lot to learn about the novel coronavirus, and so we should continue to monitor viral mutations as the pandemic unfolds. This concludes my video on viral mutations and the novel coronavirus. To learn more, please visit publichealthcoalition.org.